That's 60 miles an hour. In this video, I'm going to show you how the CVT works on this. That's the continuously variable transmission with a belt drive that makes these rear wheels go round and round and round. Well, so far I have taken out the bathtub, this inner bulkhead section, which covers access to the pulleys here. So stage one, I'm going to get a tape measure so we can measure the distance between the two pulleys. And while I'm doing this, Miss Hubnut is being very busy. She's doing
It's called tidying, darling.
Tidying. Apparently tidying is happening.
2 weeks ago when I was here and I presented you with an empty box?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
More empty boxes.
Yeah, but what's happened to the empty box?
What empty box?
Exactly.
Oh. I'm starting to see the sofa again, so that's quite impressive.
I was going to set this up a little area.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I know it's not exactly a priority, but I think it would be.
Yeah, I'm wondering about putting that seat back in Ellie again. The old bench seat with the head restraints from a German spec 2CV, but I digress. We're getting away from what we're meant to be doing, because I need a tape measure. Well, that killed it. You just killed the box. That box could have been useful.
Oh, you have many boxes.
Yeah, I like boxes. They're useful things. Boxes are good. I may have to admit defeat and open that door, I think, because this might be a two-person job. So 10.2 was the distance we want between the two pulleys. 10.25. It's interesting. This doesn't really do that. What do you reckon that is? 3/8? A quarter? This is your 2.5, isn't it? I don't think that looks like it's...
Where are we going from?
Centre of pulley to centre of pulley. I think that's looking about bob on to me.
2.5 is a quarter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much there.
So that looks good. So the distance there is good. What I might do is lube the pulleys a bit. Just to the sliding shaft of that one. So I might do that. And then I will demonstrate how the CVT works. I might take the guard off for that, just so you can see, and hope the belt doesn't snap and jump into my face.
Lovely. It's like home education for my fractions into decimals and whatnot.
Yeah, that's been fun.
Oh, so much fun.
So fun. Right, I'm going to get this off and maybe rescue my microphone, which seems to be just bouncing around all on its own. There we go. Right, let's get this off, and then we'll get some light in here. I can show you how this works. But basically, drive comes into this pulley, goes through the rubber belt to this pulley. The pulleys are weighted with springs, so they change shape, which alters the gearing, feeds back into this gearbox via a chain on this pulley. So it's quite complicated. I'll show you better when I've actually got the guard off and can actually see what's going on. Nature is trying to get some light in here, but I think an actual lamp may be better.
I think so. It's slightly dark in there.
Yep. Are you actually recording?
I'm recording.
Okay. So I'm putting the wheels back on because otherwise there is nothing to hold the brake drums in place. The first time I ever ran Took was on axle stands. She covered a mile on axle stands in the garage, and that was me just going, wee, look at this. But I did it without the wheels on. I was very lucky the brake drums didn't just fly off, because they would have come off with some speed. I remember, I think we did 60 miles an hour on axle stands. We're going to see if we can do that today, so you can see what happens with that CVT. A bit of brake dragging going on because I've just adjusted them up again. There we go. We'll do a final tighten when she's back on the ground again, but this will do for now. It's kind of time that education began, because I'm wasting your skills just on tidying up, especially tidying up the impossible. So yes, get the wheel onto those studs and be very glad it has studs, because not all cars do.
Why not?
Some cars have wheel bolts and they're an absolute pig. At least here you've got something to aim for. I'll give you some light.
That would be helpful.
It's not the noises I make, just slightly higher pitched. There we go. Yep. Grab the wheel nuts, which are behind you, directly behind you, and just get them started on the threads. other way around. The tapered bit goes into the... That's it. You could be wearing gloves.
Yeah.
Now the world is going to think I didn't offer you gloves. Oh, you've got gloves.
Yeah, but...
You're just doing a me now and not wearing the gloves that you've got for wearing gloves for.
I don't get the same sensation.
So...
If anybody knows of any very small gloves...
Yeah, I'll do my best.
I
So I'd always go opposite. So I would now do the one at the bottom. Yeah.
Yes.
You might as well give the wheel a shove just to get it on. There you go.
Look,
Yeah.
I haven't got the agility with my gloves on.
No. Might have to get you some disposable gloves. That's it, just get them started. Just make sure they're not cross-threading.
I don't think so.
They're fairly clean nuts. Here we go. Now grab the wheel brace.
Okay,
So I'd start with the top one.
this one?
Yep.
Okay.
And just twirl it round in a clockwise direction.
Actually, I haven't got much clearance.
Yeah, it doesn't help. We're all dressed up like the Michelin Man as well.
I think we
The
should,
joys of a Welsh winter. I'm just going to apply the brakes so you can do that without the wheel rotating.
tighter now. How tight should
Yep.
it be?
Go a bit tighter. You don't want to be forcing it too hard because we're on jacks. That'll do. Right, we have took ready to roll. We're going to show you the speedometer as an overlay. To start took, I've got the engine running. We have to move this lever, that's forwards, that's neutral, and it won't go into backwards because of just how things are, but there we go. She will normally, but sometimes you have to wiggle the car around a bit. We can't do that, it's on axle stands. So if I now, I'm just going to hold the torch there so you can see the belts, and we'll show you what happens as the revs increase, drive is taken up, and the belts start rotating. And as speed builds up, you'll see the pulleys change shape, which changes the gear ratio. So we're now doing 30 miles an hour. You can see the wheel going round over there. So I'm now going to give her all the beans. That's 60 miles an hour. So the pulleys reach maximum extension on each side at about 40-45 miles an hour, and at that point the engine revs start going up. Apparently it's about 4,000 revs at 60 miles an hour, but there's nothing for me to do as the driver other than open the throttle and drive is taken up. Very clever system. Yeah, this belt does seem a little on the loose side, but we've measured the distance between the pulleys and it seems to be exactly spot on. But there you go, it's a bit of an insight into how the CVT works.